So Jason, welcome. You just gave a great presentation about using TypeScript compiler API for building type-safe sort of data contracts between front-end and a back-end. But you also had some other really interesting ideas for what kind of things we can build with compilers in the front-end ecosystem. Would you like to tell us about those?
Yeah, for sure. Some interesting ones that are happening in the industry right now. If you know the Remix framework, they do a lot of things called magic exports. And this is all facilitated by compilers because they do some things like you export a function with a specific name from a file. Then the compiler will look for that specific name. And it could do some code splitting. For example, you could have some server rendered code in the same file as client code. And the compiler will be able to find that chunk of code and put it into another file and run it separately at runtime because of these magic exports. So this is all facilitated. And it's very similar to Quick, where there's that $ symbol, and every time the compiler sees that $ symbol, it could sort of extract that code and put it somewhere else and do a bunch of optimizations. So I think that's where a lot of interesting compilers optimization comes in, is with these tools around simplifying the user code.
And so, would you recommend developers who have a problem in their in their own workflow or in their own just go out and build their own tools, or is that a good use of engineering time in general?
This might be a hot take, but I feel like everybody should sort of experiment with making their own tools. Maybe there's a pattern in your code base that is really ugly, maybe, and you want to optimize it and make it a bit less ugly. Maybe you do a magic export that's just for your project, and maybe other people that come in won't know what it is right away, but it could be a good learning experience. So I think it could be a good use of engineering time.
Is this all just a workaround for the fact that TypeScript or JavaScript doesn't have templates like C++, so we can't just create unreadable code, by language magic?
Yeah, it could be. There's no runtime templates, so yeah, unfortunately.
Nice. Okay, so you're here in Finland at Future Frontend. Is it your first time in Finland?
I was here 2 years ago for React Finland 2022. I was attending the conference just as a attendee, and love this country, love this conference. So I'm like, I got to come back, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
So in that 2 years, what's changed? Like, where is front-end engineering now in the Future Frontend era versus in the React era? What are some of the biggest sort of, like in your own work, what are the biggest changes that you see?
I think there's, from the past 2 years, there's a lot more frameworks out there that are surpassing React, because we used to be called React Finland, and now it's not, because I think React is sort of on the way out, and a lot of new things are coming in. So I think that's the biggest change. And we're seeing a lot more optimization with custom compilers. A lot of frameworks are using bundlers like Vite and their plugin system to sort of make their framework a lot easier to use. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot more sort of novel ideas come out, which I think is really good.
Nice. And in Future Frontend 2026, when you come back in 2 years, what will we be talking about then?
Oh, I wish I knew. Hopefully, I work on games, so I hope that we're talking about making games really easily in the front end. So that's my hope.
So you make games using web technologies, or a game engine, or like what does that stack look like for you?
Right now, it's sort of a mix. We're using Rust to do all the rendering side of it, so because that's very performance intensive, and then we're using web technologies like TypeScript and JavaScript to be sort of the scripting side and the interface into that. And because writing everything in Rust could be really not that fun, and we want to make it easy. So yeah, I think.
So now you're done with your talk. You have whole 2 days to enjoy and relax and not have to worry about any of that. What are the topics that you're most looking forward to in the rest of the conference?
I saw a lot of people from TC39 here. I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say about standardizing a bunch of things that will be in the browser. That'll make a lot of things easier for framework authors and just developers in general. Reducing the amount of polyfills that projects need, reducing bundle sizes. So I'm really excited to hear about the TC39 stuff.
Nice, amazing. Well, I think that's all the time we have. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.